que ustedes están con nosotros aquí hoy. I'm really happy that you guys are with us today. Si notan algo diferente, hoy sí tenemos el culto de oración, pero también tenemos la campaña evangelística juvenil. Amén. Los jóvenes han trabajado muy duro, hermanos. Han trabajado y trabajado y trabajado, y por fin viene el día que vamos a comenzar nuestra campaña evangelística. And how many of you guys are happy to be in the house of God? ¿Cuántos de ustedes están contentos de estar en la casa de Dios? Si ustedes de verdad se sienten contentos de estar en la casa de Dios, les invito que no se queden atrás, pero se pongan para adelante. Si están contentos de estar en la casa de Dios, les invito que nos pongamos más cerca como familia. I want to be close like a family together today. So if you guys are sitting in the back, I'm not going to make y'all move, but I will ask y'all politely. No los voy a hacer que se muevan, pero sí les pido con mucho cariño, porque aquí somos una familia. And I invite you guys, los invito a ustedes que si ustedes tienen jóvenes que quieren invitar a esa campaña, por favor invítelos. Va a ser en inglés, totalmente en inglés, el jueves y el viernes, y hoy vamos a un little bit of Spanglish, un poco de Spanglish, ¿verdad? But I'm really glad for you guys to be here. Just a little announcements, unos anuncios. Cada día que usted viene, tiene una oportunidad de ganar un premio especial el sábado, ¿ok? El sábado o el viernes, uno de esos dos días. Lo vamos a platicar. So cada vez que ustedes vienen, every time you come, your name will be added on a special pool for a prize, okay? But we are glad that you guys are with us. And how many of you guys are ready to worship God? Amen. All right. Hope you guys enjoy the program.
Okay, ¿cuántos de ustedes han tenido una buena semana esta semana? How many of you had a good week so far this week? How many of you had a bad week? ¿Quién ha tenido una semana más o menos? No, bueno, hoy va a ser buena porque estamos en la casa de Dios, ¿verdad? Entonces, antes de empezar nuestro programa, antes de empezar la parte espiritual de nuestro programa, vamos a tener una actividad. Va a ser un icebreaker, ¿ok? Ya sé que a algunos a veces les da como cosa el icebreaker porque no sabemos qué es lo que vamos a esperar, pero les aseguro que este icebreaker es muy fácil y ya lo han jugado una vez. ¿Quién ha jugado heads or tails? Cabeza o águila, no sé cómo se dice en español. Heads or tails, cuando uno avienta la cora y adivinan qué lado va a caer. ¿Águila o sol? Ok, ¿quién ha jugado ese juego? Ok, muy bien. Entonces voy a pedir a todos los que están aquí, los que vamos a participar, que se pongan de pie. Entonces el juego es muy fácil. Usted va a adivinar si cuando yo tire la cora, si va a caer en el águila o en el sol. Si usted cree que va a caer en el sol, va a poner las manos en la cabeza. Y si usted cree que va a caer en la águila, va a cruzar las manos así. Okay? And so we're going to be playing heads or tails. So it's a very simple game. Everyone will be standing up, and you're going to take a guess where my quarter is going to fall. So if you're going to guess heads, you put your hands on your head. If you're going to head tails, then you cross your arms. So if you guess wrong, you sit down, and then we keep going until we have one winner. So si adivinan mal, entonces se sientan y vamos a seguir continuando hasta que tenemos un ganador, y ese ganador se va a ganar un premio. ¿Ok? Entonces, ¿listos? ¿Ya? Ok, todos de pie. Ok. Ok, ready? Heads or tails, cabeza o sol. Tienen que cruzar las manos o poner las manos en las... Ok, ¿qué fue?
Tails.
Ok, so fue... ¿what's it? ¿Sol? Águila. Ok, muy bien. Entonces, lo que adivinaron el águila se siguen de pie. If you guessed the tails, you stand up, okay? Yeah. Okay, otra vez. Águila o... I'm going to just say it in English. Heads or tails? What was it?
Heads.
Cabeza. Okay, so si adivinaron mal, siéntense. Okay? All right, ready, set, go. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Cabeza. ¿Quién adivinó cabeza? Okay. This is our practice round. Okay, we'll do another one. Heads or tails? Cabeza o águila? It has to be defined. So either put your heads or tails.
Heads.
Okay, so we have you. You won? Yeah, she's our last standing. Come here. We're gonna give you a little gift. It's something simple, not too fancy. That was our practice round, but she's our guest, so we're very happy that you're here. Where are you visiting us from? Oh, she's from Swau. Yes. We're so grateful that you guys are here. Welcome. Okay, so we're going to do one more round. Do you guys get it? ¿Le entendieron un poquito? Vamos a jugar una ronda más, ¿ok? Entonces, todos de pie otra vez. Voy a decir cabeza o águila. Okay, all right? Okay, cabeza o águila. Cabeza. Ok, otra vez. Cabeza o águila.
Heads.
Cabeza. Ok. Otra vez. Nos quedan cabeza o águila. So we have a lot of águilas.
Tails.
Okay, so the águilas are up. You guys are still up. Yeah, you're up. Okay, ready? Heads or tails? Cabeza o águila? Heads, cabeza. Oh, okay. Entonces es Mrs. Cruz versus Mr. Cruz. All right. Tiene, como nomás quedan dos, tiene uno que escoger o cabeza o águila. ¿Ok? Cabeza o águila.
Heads.
Cabeza. Ganó Sergio. Ok, aquí tenemos un regalito pequeñito. Si no le gustan, compártelo con algo más. Ok. Gracias por participar.
Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches, todos. A mí me ha tocado la parte de la oración. Y esta vez quiero hacer un poquito diferente. I want to do a little bit different tonight. I want us to separate into 3 groups. One on this side, one in the middle right here, and one on this my far right, your far left. Quiero separarlos en 3 grupos. Uno a su derecha, uno en el medio y uno a su izquierda. Quiero que ese lado se ponga acá y ese lado se ponga acá en un grupo, en un círculo. Y ese grupo que se ponga acá también. Vamos a todos decir algo que tenemos un agradecimiento o una petición. Puede ser lo que sea, esta semana le ha ido bien, ha estado orado por algo. Les quiero dar 5 minutos para que todos se pongan en un grupo y que una o 2 personas tengan una oración y yo lo voy terminando con mi propia oración. Padre Dios, te damos muchísimas gracias por la oportunidad de estar aquí en tu templo para adorarte. Dear Heavenly Father, God, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, to worship you, to praise you, and to know more about you and to grow closer to you. En esta hora te pedimos que nos abras el corazón, nos abras la mente para poder enfocarnos completamente en ti y lo que tú tienes para nosotros hoy. We want to ask that you may open our hearts and our minds to focus solely on you, God, the giver of all and worthy of it all. Mereces todo, Dios, toda nuestra honra y nuestra gloria por siempre, Dios. Te agradecemos por todo lo que haces cada día por nosotros. Aunque no lo miremos todos los días, te agradecemos porque siempre estás al lado de nosotros. Cuídanos al continuar y por el resto de la semana. Bendice a todos los que vienen en camino y los que no pueden venir. Bendícelos también. Please bless all those who are on their way as well, God. All those who are here and also those who couldn't make it, God. We ask this, we thank you, and we pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Tonight, I want to invite you to engage in our worship by singing and focusing completely on God. Los próximos minutos no es un tiempo de estar como espectadores. Es un tiempo que nos recuerda qué tan grandioso es Dios y que Él merece toda la honra y toda la alabanza. Let God work in your life by being present in this very moment. If you have problems, si tienes dolor, si tienes angustia, si hay una preocupación que tienes, let it go. God is going to work an amazing miracle in your life.
Same old road for miles and miles. If you've been hearing the same old voice tell the same old lies, if you're trying to fill the same old holes inside, there's a better life. There's a better life. If you've got pain, he's a pain taker. You feel lost, he's a way maker. If you need freedom or saving, he's a prison shaking savior. If you've got chains, he's a chain breaker. We've all searched for the light of day in the dead of night. We've all found ourselves worn out from the same old fight. We've all run to things we don't just ain't right. There's a better life. There's a better life. If you've got pain, he's a pain taker. If you feel lost, he's a way maker. If you need freedom or saving, he's a prison shaking savior. If you've got chains, he's a chain breaker. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify, testify. If you can feel it, if you can see it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you got pain, he's a pain taker. If you feel lost, He's a way maker. If you need freedom of saving, He's a prison shaking Savior. If you've got chains, He's a chain breaker. If you've got pain, He's a pain taker.
If you feel lost,
If you feel lost,
He's a way maker.
He's a way maker.
If you need freedom,
If you need freedom of saving, He's a prison shaking Savior. If you've got chains, He's a chain breaker.
amen. So we chose a lot of songs specifically tonight that talk about coming to Jesus the way that we are. So with our chains, if we have problems, if we have some sort of pain, you know, like the song that we just sang, like He's a pain taker, you know? And sometimes there are things that we're just not willing to let go. There are some things that have just been bothering us all our life, that have labeled us as someone that, you know, we feel like we have to become. But the great thing about it is that God lets us come to Him as we are, because He's the one that gives the change. Él es el que nos puede cambiar. Si venimos como somos y si confiamos que Él nos puede cambiar, sí lo va a hacer.
Come out of sadness from wherever you've been. Come broken hearted, let rescue begin. Come find your mercy, oh sinner, come near. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Oh, wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you are. There's hope for the hopeless and all those who've strayed. Come sit at the table. Come taste the grace. There's rest for the weary, rest that endures. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can cure. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can cure. So lay down your burden, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Oh, wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you are. Come as you are. Falling in song. Come as you are. There's joy for the morning. Oh, sinner, be still. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth There's no sorrow that heaven can heal. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your head. Oh, wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your, come as you are.
The most beautiful part of the coming to Jesus steps, la parte más bonita es cuando somos redimidos, when we're redeemed. So for these last few songs, we're gonna ask for you to stand up with us, to be able to stretch a little bit more, to feel the change that God is giving us, to scream, to shout, to sing, I am redeemed.
Seems like all I could see was a struggle. Haunted by ghosts that live in my past. Bound up in shackles of all my failures. Wondering how long is this gonna last? Then you look at this prisoner and say to me, son, stop fighting a fight that's already been won. I am redeemed. You set me free. So I'll shake off these heavy chains, wipe away every stain. 'Cause I'm not who I used to be. I am redeemed. I'm redeemed. All my life I have been called unworthy. Named by the voice of my shame and regret. But when I hear you whisper, child, lift up your head, I remember, oh God, you're not done with me yet. I am redeemed. You set me free. So I'll shake off these heavy chains and wipe away every sin. 'Cause I'm not who I used to be. Because I don't have to be the old man inside of me. 'Cause his day is long dead and gone. Because I've got a new name, a new life, I'm not the same, and a hope that will carry me on. Because I've got a new name, the old man inside of me, 'cause his day is long dead and gone. Because I've got a new name, a new life, I'm not the same, and a hope that will carry me on. I am redeemed. set me free. So I'll shake off these heavy chains and wipe away every stain. 'Cause I'm not who I used to be. I am redeemed. You set me free. So I'll shake off these heavy chains and wipe away every stain. 'Cause I'm not who I used to be. I am redeemed.
We're not going to sing our theme song that we're going to be singing from now until Saturday morning. It's called Saturday night, sorry. It's called Worthy of It All. And it's such a beautiful song. I hadn't heard it before we started preparing for it. And it's just so amazing because he's so worthy of it all because he deems us worthy of his love, of his forgiveness, of his grace. So if you feel that he is worthy of everything that you have, everything in your life, sing with us.
Sing a new song. Lift up your voice in the dark. Sing as a new one. Sing as though you were in love. Lift your eyes, see the King standing on now and sing. All of my hopes, all of my fears, all of my wants, and all of my years. Everything now and everything then, all my life I resolve. You're worthy of it all. You're worthy of it all. You're worthy of it all. I sing a new song. I lift up my voice in the dark. I sing as a new one. I sing because I am in love. I lift my eyes to the King, standing on now and sing. All of my hopes, all of my fears, all of my wants, and all of my years. Everything now and everything then, all my life I resolve. You're worthy of it all. You're worthy of it all. You're worthy of it all. All of my hopes, all of my fears, all of my wants, and all of my years. Everything now and everything then, all my life I resolve. You're worthy of it all. You're worthy of it all. crown you now with many crowns. You reign victorious. High and lifted up, Jesus, Son of God, the darling of heaven, crucified. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Seated on the throne. Crown you now with many crowns. You reign victorious. High and lifted up, Jesus, Son of God, the darling of heaven, crucified. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb.
Es mi placer y honor de introducirle al orador de esta noche. It's my honor and pleasure to introduce you guys the speaker that will be with us the rest of the week. His name is Christian Ponciano. His name is Christian Ponciano y él trabaja como pastor de jóvenes en la iglesia de McAllen Central. He works as a youth pastor in McAllen Central, and he will be with us for the whole week. He's a really cool guy, and if you guys have any questions or just want to say hi to him, I encourage you to do it. He's a very interesting person. But now it's Christian's time, and I know you'll be a blessing to us, brother.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you so much, Pastor Will. Good evening. I'm extremely excited to be here with you guys. It is a blessing, an honor, a privilege to be here. This is kind of nice, a nice pulpit and stuff. That's awesome. I'm just glad to be here. Pastor Will, can you help me out with this big contraption over here? There it is. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. This week we are going to be meeting a couple of times. You're going to get to see me a little more. Ustedes me van a ver un poquito más que de lo común, porque normalmente la iglesia se reúne los miércoles y los, no sé si ustedes hacen viernes, pero los miércoles, los viernes, los sábados. Pero esta semana vamos a estar aquí a esta hora, empezando. ¿A qué hora, Pastor Will? Empezamos nosotros. A las 7:40 estaremos empezando y entonces terminando más adelante. Estaremos aquí toda la semana. Así que si usted tiene alguien que le gustaría que viniera, este es el momento. Esta es la ocasión. If you know somebody, this is the moment. You see, this is the moment to bring your friends to church. It's not when they use your church is, because normally your friends are weirded out when the usual church is happening. But when there's something happening specifically for them, it's the moment for you to invite them. So, así que ustedes me van a conocer un poquito más, me van a ver y van a saber un poquito más de mí con las historias que les voy a estar diciendo. Como el pastor Will mencionó, mi nombre es Christian Ponciano. I am in McAllen, Texas, far, far, far away from here. They told me when I first got to McAllen that it was Mexico with an American flag in it. And yes, it is. So I am literally 6 miles north of the border with Mexico. It's an interesting place. There is a lot of mixed culture that happens there, but it is beautiful. I love it there. And so you guys get to know me a little better. Pastor Will, you have a table that we talked about. So Pastor Will is going to bring out a table. If in fact this week we're going to be talking about how God, Jesus Christ, is worthy, there is first a thing that we have to establish. We have to establish the identity of this guy. Because you don't consider anybody as worthy until you actually get to know the person whom you will consider as worthy. I hope you're following with me. So we have to understand first the identity of that which we consider or will or should consider worthy. I could just come and sit here and tell you, hey, God is worthy. Let's go home. I could do that. But how is that going to work out for you? What is that going to do for you? It's going to be the same thing that you've been told your whole life. Church, because mama brought you to church, and grandma brought you to church, and dad brought you to church, and so it's be the same thing. So we're going to do, first we're going to establish a couple of things. We're going to establish the identity of this person that we are to consider worthy, and then from there we will work our way into how worthy this person, this character is. First, I want to establish right here, this is a nice flower, Pastor Will. You did good. You do have a taste. That's good. All right. So this is going to be our table of truth. Esta va a ser nuestra mesa de la verdad. El problema es que todos tenemos una mesa de la verdad. You can say whatever you want, like, I really don't care, whatever. Doesn't matter what you say, you have a table of truth. You know certain things are true and you know certain things are not. Like Pop-Tarts, you know that's not real food. That's a fact. So that's in your table of truth. So we have a table of truth for several things. We have a table of truth for facts of life. 2 + 2 = 4. That's in the table of truth. We have a table of truth for our physical body. So if I go and I walk into the middle of the street with my eyes crossed and my eyes closed, I'm going to get run over and I'm probably going to die. Our human anatomy, right? If I drink poison, I'm going to die. We know that. That's a table of truth. We have a table of truth for our physical. But then we also have a table of truth for our spiritual life, and this is where it matters. This is where we meet the road. This is where we're going to be talking about this week. So our spiritual table of truth, unlike every other table of truth that we have in our lives, is very clogged. ¿Por qué está tan tapada nuestra mesa de la verdad espiritual? Porque nosotros, especialmente nosotros siendo hispanos, tenemos una confluencia de costumbres y creencias y cosas que nos ponen encima, que últimamente lo que hacen es que forman nuestras creencias y lo que nosotros conocemos como Dios. A lot of us come from places where Catholicism is the thing. So, therefore, we have in our image of God somewhat of a Catholic image of God. And that's okay. I don't want you to freak out and be like, no, that's fine. It's just that culture has shaped you that way. And so you bring into this table of spiritual truth a lot of things. God is this, God is that, God is this, God is that. If you live in this side of the world, the Jesus that has been a white Jesus with blue eyes and long hair. That's in your table of truth. So Jesus must have looked like this because my whole life, this is what has been looked like. You go around to the African countries and then Jesus looks a little different. That's in their table of truth because of their culture. So now you have to understand that your table of truth is highly affected by the culture that you are grown up in. What we're going to do is that right now, this week, I'm going to ask you to do one thing. For these 4 days, just walk with me. And in your table of spiritual truth, whatever you know about God, whatever you know about Jesus, this is what I'm going to ask you to do with it. Just everything. Put it to the side for a second. Clear your table of truth. We're going to need a clean in order for us to be able to establish if it's worthy or not. You cannot establish the worthiness of a character if that character is clogged by everything else you're throwing at it or him. So therefore, as we clean our spiritual table of truth, we're going to put one thing. That's going to be there every night, all right? So I hope that it doesn't throw off your decoration too much, Pastor Will. Because this is going to be the one thing we know about God. And the Bible is very specific at telling us one very, very, very specific thing about God. And that is found in 1 John 4:8. Number 1, it says, he who does not love does not know God. Why? Why? Because God, Dios, es amor. That is the one thing we know. That is the one thing. You can do whatever you want. You can look and jump and hoop and look. This is what we know. This is what the Bible tells us. God is love. That is the definition we have. So in our spiritual truth, table of truth, we're going to have the one fact we know about God. He is love. So everything that has to do with God, everything that has to do with me and him, everything that has to do with his worthiness must come out of that particular truth. God is love. That must be. Because if it doesn't come from that, then somewhere there must not be truth. Either the Bible is lying or what I know about God is a lie. If it doesn't match up with the truth that he is love. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Just talking about a little bit. Establish what God is. Remember, God. Jesus is love. God is love. So let's get right into the matter of things. Now, story time. It all started when me and my wife were together. We finished our master's degrees. We were done. We were happy. And we decided now to look on into a bright future. By the grace of God, I was hired by the Texas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I find myself amongst you today because of that fact. And so I was hired and I came down here. We were brand new. We were excited looking out into a brand new section of life, if you will. We're like, man, we both have jobs, we have degrees, we are married, we are young and vibrant. Man, this is awesome. And so we not only were very in love with each other, we were just in love with life. And so we decided we are going to do things right. We're going to get a nice car. You gotta understand, we ain't rich, so a nice car to us. But, I mean, we're both from New York City. We never really had cars. So we decided we're going to get a nice car. So I was like, yes, we are going to get very brand new Toyota RAV4. You probably think, you thought that I was going to put like some crazy, like an Audi or something. No. Got a RAV4, nice family. And I didn't just get the Toyota RAV4 here. I got the I got leather seats. I got rings. I got GPS and satellite radio and a 13-inch screen in the middle of that thing. I was like, man, I never had this car in my life. I never had a car this nice. Man, we are set up now. And so as we were happy with our car, we would drive that car, and I loved it, and I kept it very clean. And it was my RAV4. I loved it. I loved that car. Right? Especially because it was so expensive. Guys, when you go buy a car, you're going to understand that from the stock version to like the most trim, the highest trim, that's a lot of money. For just 2 more inches in the screen and a GPS that your phone already has. So it didn't matter. We were going to get a nice car, and so we did. All right, so we got a nice car, and so we're riding in our nice car. And so a story has it, one day we were driving to our camp meeting down there in the valley in a beautiful place called the South Padre Island. And so we were driving there, and it was going to be our camp meeting. It was nice. It was early in the morning, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there in that valley sunrise, which is beautiful. And if you've never been there, you should really go down there. And so we were driving all the way in the Route 100. And so we were driving. The sun was coming up, and all of a sudden, this thing shows up. That's a rare animal, right? That's because it belongs in Africa. But for some reason, it's here in the state of Texas, specifically in the valley. For some reason, that thing is called a nilgai. In other words, it is a deer on steroids. Literally. So that thing, all of a sudden, we're driving. I'm driving, man. The road is nice. The speed limit in this particular stretch of road was 70 miles an hour, so I was going 75. You should always just never go more than 5 because you will get stopped. So you can go 5. The cop would be nice with you. So I'm going 75 exactly. I know because I had it on my nice cruise control on my brand new car. And so I'm driving down to camp meeting, singing praises to the Lord. My wife was sound asleep next to me, and I was watching the beautiful sunrise of South Padre Island, Texas. And so I am driving. This ugly thing decides to show up out of nowhere. It just showed up. You asked me, and I wouldn't tell you where it came from. I think somebody dropped it right in front. It just showed up. And so what was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story of two beautiful people that fell in love and now have the car of their dreams and now have their jobs of their dream and now they're driving to minister for the Lord Jesus Christ, all of a sudden became this. Now, this is what happened. So this ugly, ugly animal that belongs in Africa is a Neo guy. He showed up in the middle of the street, and I ran it over. I don't know what to. I don't know what else to tell you. If the thing showed up, and you don't see too much of the damage there, but literally the engine block of that car should be higher. You should see it. But because the animal, which by the way was estimated by the firefighters that came to our rescue, God bless our first responders, estimated that the animal was about 900 pounds. 900 pounds. You shouldn't even be in the street at 900 pounds. Like you should be in like a cage. It's crazy. Or in the big plains of Africa where it comes from. So this thing, we were driving, it showed up and boom. It was right in the very middle. I remember like it was yesterday. Boom, full speed. So, of course, the trauma, the airbags go off. There's smoke everywhere inside the car. I thought that the car was burning. By the way, I had never been in an accident with the airbags deployed before. So when the airbags deployed, there was smoke everywhere inside of the car. And so I told my wife, we're going to burn. We got to get out. So I'm like dragging. I got out. I broke the door. I don't know how because it wasn't opening right. So I broke the door. And so I dragged my wife into the street. And I'm like, let's go. And the car is like full of smoke. And then I realized that it's the powder. Not that the car is burning. But to me, we were burning, and I had to save my wife. And so this is the idea. When you go to a dealership and you get a nice car, they ask you for all of these options. They give you a million options. Well, if you just add $10 a month into your lease, we have insurance for this. Well, if you just add $20 a month, we have insurance with that. And I was like, I don't want none of that. You guys are trying to get me. You guys are trying to get my money. I don't want you to get my. You should say, sir, everything. I don't want to hear it. Okay, good. Because I was the guy that always asked, why does insurance? It's not like I'm getting into an accident every day. I'm not getting into an accident every day. As a matter of fact, I've never been in an accident. And now I have this beautiful car with all this technology. By the way, those cars have like a camera in the windshield that they let you know when there's a car in front of you. They brake for you. They sound an alarm when you switch lanes and you're falling asleep. Like this thing, I don't need insurance. No necesito seguro. La cosa esa tiene todo. And so I was like, man, why? What's the matter with insurance? Why do I give my money to insurance? And then I realized this is it. That's why insurance matters. It mattered because that morning, when we were out of the car, you see the state troopers there behind us. We got out, and the first thing that I did, I called the insurance. And we have an accident. It's so nice because they're always like, sir, are you all right? Oh, yes, I am. I think I am. Sir, you need any attention, any medical attention? You need anything? I'm a little shaken up, but I'm okay. Well, that's good. Well, sir, I'm so sorry that this happens to you. We're going to do everything possible. Man, insurance are so nice. They're not charging you. But they were nice, and so I felt like somebody had my back. The lady was like, look, sir, it's okay. You could just, and by the way, I like how in Texas everybody calls you sir. I love that. I'm from New York where everybody calls you like guy or get out of here or person. So it's nice. Texas is a nice state. You guys should really appreciate it. So then I'm like, sir, hey, listen, you can choose whatever shop you want. You can choose whatever tow service you want. We will pay for it. We'll cover it. I was like, well, yeah, is that right? Yes, sir. Because when an animal crashes into you, it doesn't count as your fault. It's just something that we take care of. And I was like, yes, animals. Yes, this animal is bad. And I am good. And thank you for taking care of me. And so she let me choose whatever shop. A tow truck came. They took my car and they took care of it. They had my back. But it is often in moments of crazy wrecks that the answer to the question, why does it matter, is received. I hope that you're following that. Es muy a menudo que en los tiempos más difíciles de la vida, cuando las situaciones aparecen de ningún lugar, cuando nos encontramos en situaciones difíciles por cosas que tal vez no tenemos ningún control, es en esos momentos donde nosotros podemos encontrar la respuesta a la pregunta, ¿por qué importa? Because I had never had an answer to why insurance matters until this happened to me. So if you're going through the worst moment of your life right now, it's a good place because you're going to have some answers. It's a good place if you're struggling through. It's a good place if you're suffering through. It is a good place because it is in that place that you will be able to see what God has for you. So if tonight you have asked the question, why does it matter? Then this is a good place. So, there it is. Okay. Why does it matter? Have you ever asked yourself, why does Jesus guy matter? Like, what's the big deal with this Jesus? Let's be honest, man. If you're a young person, and you're honest about yourself and your spirituality, you're going to admit that you have asked that. What does it matter what does Jesus do? Why should I invest my time, my money, my effort, my everything in following this guy? Why does it matter? Why does Jesus matter so much? I mean, you see the world, they're going out there, they don't have Jesus and they seem just fine. Why does it matter? Why does it matter when I'm suffering so much and everybody else is not? Why does it matter? Okay to ask that question. I've myself asked it too many times. And so tonight, I will give you what has worked for me as an answer to that question, because we need to establish first, why does Jesus matter? ¿Por qué importa Jesús? Para nosotros poder saber si Él es digno. Unless you answer that question, you will not be able to identify Him as worthy. No matter what you do. No matter what you do. This will be the Jesus of your grandma. This will be the Jesus of your grandpa. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. It doesn't matter. This will be somebody else's Jesus, not yours. And should I venture to say, the reason why we're struggling spiritually so much today is because the Jesus that we're worshiping is not the Jesus that we own. Ooh. You got to look into that. Somebody else owns them, not you. So, why does it matter? Number one, why does this Jesus matter? I would tell you that this is the verse that has the main answer to that. John 14:6, Juan 14:6. El primer versículo que me aprendí cuando yo era niñecito en la escuelita sabática fue ese. El primer versículo, Juan 14:6, dice, y Jesús respondió, yo soy el camino, la verdad y la vida. Nadie llega al Padre si no es por mí. This is a very special place in the Bible because Jesus was talking to the disciples and he was saying pretty much, hey, I'm leaving. Everybody, hey, hi, I'm leaving. And the disciples were like, no, how, Jesus? And then Thomas was like, hey, Jesus, I don't know. We don't know where you're going to go. And Jesus is like, the place that I'm going, you don't know where it is. And he's like, but how are we going to follow you there? And so Jesus gives this cryptic answer. This is what he says. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Let that sink. We're going to look into this a little bit further in. And so, number one, I want to point out to you that Jesus is the way. Jesús es el camino. Now, this is what I want to tell you about that expression. For the ancient Hebrews, when somebody says this is the way, they're not talking about this is just the path. This is the style of life. I want you to pick that up. This is the style of life. This is the way that you live life. This is just not a place that you walk into and onto. This is the way that you live life. So Jesus represents not necessarily some path that you follow because somebody told you to. Jesus represents the style of life that you live where you are convicted that he is who he is. Jesus. Think that Jesus is the GPS. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre el camino y el GPS? Anybody? The GPS tells you how to get on the path, but the path is not the GPS. A lot of people think that Jesus is the GPS. No, mistake. Jesus is the path. GPS is something different that gets you on the path, which is interesting that you have to look at it that way. So when we look at Jesus, he is the way we should walk, we should talk, we should dress, we should think, we should say, we should sing. Jesus is that way. And number two, we look into number two, Jesus is the truth. Now, everybody has this idea that truth is this like relative thing. Have you heard that? Like, whatever is true for you is true for you. Whatever is true for me is true for me. And that's how we settle it. Really? This is crazy. If I ask you all to stand up, close your eyes, turn around 2 times, and I would. It's just that we're pressed for time. But I would ask you to do this thing, and then I will ask you to close your eyes, and then I'm going to ask you to turn 2 times, and then I'm going to ask you to point to where you think north is. You know what happens every time I ask that of a church? Everybody's pointing like this. There's people like turn around. There's people like north. You need to understand one thing. There is an actual north. And when you don't know where that is, you're lost. And that's truth. It's very important that you understand that. Truth cannot be relative. Truth is a thing. It's an actual thing. If truth was relative, then everybody would have their own north. And where would we be going? Everywhere. Nowhere. So it's very important that you understand that. So a lot of people invest so much time digging up truth, looking for truth, searching for truth. And the whole time Jesus has been sitting there like, hey, everybody, hey, I'm here. Jesús es la verdad. It's very important that you understand that. Now, Jesus is life. So, as millennials, I know this one thing. As millennials, we are looking for a model to follow. Don't you wish that every time you're making a decision, somebody would make it for you? Like, you would put all of the responsibility on somebody else? I was just telling Pastor Will when I was coming how I'm trying to cut cable in my house, and that is a huge responsibility because he's like, if I cut cable and I just don't do it right, then my wife is not going to have TV, and if my wife doesn't have TV, then we have a problem. I just wish that somebody else would come and make the decision, and then if everything blows up, I just be like, this won't. But it's not that way. We're looking for a way, somebody to model our path, somebody to model what we should be. And so that's where Jesus is the way. And we're looking for truth. We want to know what truth actually is. And so that's when Jesus is up as truth. But one thing that we're looking as young people too is life. We're actually looking for life. We want life. We want to have a good family. We want to have a good future. We want to have a good life to live. We want to be good people. Save the turtles. We want to be good. We don't want to burn this planet. We want to hold back and have a good environment. We want life. An abundant life. That's why all millennials, we're all worrying about investing in stock market and the stash app and acorns and we're waiting for retirement and how much I have in my retirement and my 401k and if I'm all of that because we want life. Jesus is life. But Jesus is life not like life like we know life here. Life here es full of struggle, llena de problemas, llena de dificultades, llena de situaciones, llena de esfuerzo. Jesus Christ is life, but it's life differently. It's life abundant. It's life great. It's life good. It's life awesome. It's life good to live. It's life because when you are living your life according to how Jesus wants you to live it, then you know that everything that happens in your life is because of Him. And if He is love, then it's a good life. All of a sudden, you have something to think about, and you have something to put that problem onto, and you have something to put that worry onto, and you have something to put that uncertainty onto, and you have something to put that anxiety onto, and that depression onto, because He is life. Notice that in no time I told you that you're not going to have those things. You are going to have those things, but the difference is that you're going to have somewhere to put it on. That is life. Jesus is life because He Himself busted death wide open. I'm not going to talk too much about that because on Saturday we're going to have a party on that. But I'm going to tell you right now, Jesus is life because literally He took death, punched it in the face, threw it on the ground, walked on top of it, and said, peace. Literally, that's why Jesus is life. So it's life because you know that after you are dead, after you are gone, you're still going to have life. Not at this moment, but when He shows up again, you're going to walk out of that grave because He is life. That in itself is great hope. That in itself is awesome. That in itself is amazing to know that not even death has power over you because you know somebody who is life over death. And that is amazing hope. And so Jesus is life. And also, when we look, we see this. Life that Jesus wants you to have is vida, pero no vida, pero vida en abundancia. Lot of life, good life. Jesus Christ is a mirror. This is a short one. I'm not going to talk too much about this. This is a mirror. I'm going to tell you, man. I don't know about you, but I need a mirror in my life. Pastor Will. I was coming here. I'm like, yo, Pastor Will, how's my hair looking? He's like, it looks good to me. I went and saw myself in the mirror. I was like, nah, we gotta fix this. And you're probably thinking like, Pastor, you have no hair. That's what everybody tells me. You have no hair. Believe me, I do. But I wouldn't know that if I wouldn't look at myself in a mirror every morning. ¿Por qué es un espejo importante? ¿Qué hace el espejo? ¿Cuál es la importancia de un espejo? El espejo te dice que estás feo. Yeah, maybe that came out a little weird, but in other words, pretty much, that's what it is. You wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, whoa, I gotta wash this off, line this up, comb this up, gel that up. And then you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, okay, fine. So Jesus is like a mirror in the sense that He will show you what you're missing to get to where He's at. He will let you know what you're lacking. He will let you know what your hole is. He'll let you know that spiritually you are ugly. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. The problem is that a lot of times I like that Disney story, espejito, espejito. ¿Cuál es la más bonita del reino? Y cuando el espejito dice, hay otra que es más bonita que tú, we get mad and we want to kill the mirror. That's the problem that we have with Jesus a lot of times. That Jesus lets you know how spiritually ugly and in need you are, but you get mad at Jesus all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you're like, no, I'm not coming to church no more. Forget church, pastor, I hate you. What? It's because you're mad because you know you're ugly. But you need somebody in your life to tell you ugly. The last point that I want to mention to you. Now, this is, out of all the points that I gave you, as to why Jesus matters, this is the most important. ¿Por qué es importante tener un abogado? Yeah, if you're in trouble. ¿Pero qué hace el abogado? That's me. Of course. You best believe that if I stand in front of a judge, I will have no words for that judge. I don't know what, especially, but let me tell you. Let me tell you how I got caught. And this is one of those moments. Do as I say, don't do as I do. So, I was heading to a wedding. My wife was very pregnant. And I was late for the wedding. And I told my wife, I said, mira, mira. La novia puede llegar tarde. El novio puede llegar tarde. Pero el pastor no puede llegar tarde. El pastor tiene que estar parado ahí adelante, like this, hasta que llegue la novia. Yo no soy el que puede. Me van a estar la novia y el novio esperando el pastor que entre. No puedo. El punto es que estábamos tardísimo para la boda, nos montamos en el carro. A brand new RAV4 that insurance gave me. Nos montamos en el carro y le dimos por ahí para abajo, boom, en el highway. But it was wow, hot, man. I was going 90. But it was with a good cause. I was going to a wedding. I was going to marry somebody. I was on my way to marry these people, and I had to get there. So I'm going 90 in the highway. Y'all know you can't go 90 in certain parts. So sure enough, I'm going 90. I'm beasting, boom, and then there's traffic. So the problem is that you're not just going 90, because if you're going 90 in just one lane, it's okay. But the problem is that when there's traffic, you go 90. Going like boom, 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 right? Like that. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, I get to my exit and I'm like, bet I made it. Here we go. Boom. And at that very moment, I look through my rear view. There are the beautiful, colorful lights that we all hate, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. State trooper. Yes, that's the problem. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. These dudes don't forgive. They don't forget either. State troopers, you're not going to get away with it. So I got pulled over. State trooper comes out. He's like, "Hey, sir, by the way, get out of there." I was like, come on. Like, really? Why do we got to get out the car? Sir! Okay. All right. I get out the car, I stand in the back, and he's just, you know how cops do. They just start, why are you going so fast, blah, blah. I'm like, look, sir, man, I am a pastor. He's like, I don't care what you do. That's not an excuse. And I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to tell you an excuse. I'm letting you know where I'm going. I'm going to go marry these people, and I'm extremely late. So that's why I'm going fast. Well, give me your license and whatever. Point is that he gave me a ticket, fat ticket. I was going 90. Fat ticket. So I knew I was in trouble. I was like, man, this is not good. So I needed. I was talking to some friends. I went fishing. I love fishing. I went with some friends fishing, and I'm talking like, hey, dude, having dude conversation. We're there in the boat fishing. I was like, hey, dude, I got busted the other day. Busted, Adventist people talking. I got busted the other day going 90 in the highway. I know somebody. I said, what? Yeah, you're going to get that ticket dismissed. It's all good. I said, what? Yeah, this lawyer's really good. I said, what? Who is this lawyer? Gave me the contact. I contacted the lawyer. The lawyer said, say no more, brother. I got you. I said, what that mean? He said, don't worry. I got you. I said, what? Yes. You just paid me this fee? And I think, I said, what? You take care of this huge ticket? I said, yes. I sent them a picture of the ticket. Wrote a letter to the court. And the letter is just something like this. am here to inform you that I am representing Mr. Christian Ponciano on the case, County of Hidalgo versus whatever, and I will be his representative. All communications now go through me. You now speak to me. You now deal with me. Any documents that you need, you talk to me. You send them through me, and we'll be fighting this thing in court. I read the letter, and I was like, you sure? He said, don't worry about it. The courts are not trying to fight you. If you have somebody like me. So, guys, a couple of weeks later, the court sends back a letter saying, very well, we will settle for just the court fees, and there will be no points on the license, and there will be no fee of the ticket. Now, the court fees are like $200. So, I was like, how did you do that? He's like, look, when courts see that you get a lawyer, they know that they're going to spend more money trying to fight this thing out with somebody that knows how to fight it than if they would just settle and let you be. There's criminals selling drugs and killing people out there that they need to go after. They're not worried about somebody that wants to fight. Like, this is awesome. But I didn't know that because I didn't have a lawyer. But at the moment that I had a lawyer, I had somebody to represent me in front of the court. And this is very important. Me and you see, when we are how we are messed up. We are bad people. We are messed up people. We are full of sin. And you know that. You know that. Ain't nobody got to come. I didn't have to come all the way from the valley to tell you that. You know that. You know that you missed the mark. You know that there are things that you should do better. You know that you haven't been what God is asking you to be. You know that you've been tick-tocking when you should be reading your word. You know. What do you and me need? Because we're messed up. I love this verse. 1 John 2:1. Abogado tenemos Cristo. That's why Jesus. Because somebody full of sin like you and me is somebody full of grace like Jesus Christ. Get this. Imagine that you are there in the courtroom. You've been called. That is you in that orange jumpsuit. You've been accused of murder. By the way, you have serious issues. But that is how we have. And we're standing there right in front of the judge, but you're walking with your head down. You're walking with your head down because you're in shame, because your own father is also a judge. Get this, walk with me. Your own father is a judge. So you are double shameful, not because you messed up, but also because the person that gave you life, you've messed up in their eyes too. You know how that feels like. You know what it feels like to come home with something that you know you were raised better than. So there you are, head down, walking up. But when you put your head up, you realize that whoever is sitting across that bench is your own father. He's the judge. Father. Begging your father to let you go. Begging, Dad, please let me go. You know I messed up. It was a mistake. You know I shouldn't have. But God, please, Dad, please, God, please, Dad, let me go. But the judge, in order to be fair, cannot just let you. So he puts down the hammer and he gives you the sentencing. And when he says guilty of capital punishment, you now at that moment you are trembling and you're falling back and you sit back in your chair. And at that moment you realize that there's some movement going on. And it's that the judge is now standing up from the bench and he's coming down into your place and he's taking off his judge garment and now he's looking at you. And now when the sheriff is about to take you, you hear the judge say, do not take him. I will go instead of him. And then he goes and he takes your punishment and he takes your place and he takes your death because he's your father. He won't let you die, but he's also your judge, and he won't let you die. This is why we need Jesus. This is why. Because on your own, you're not going to be able to get through this. You know you ain't good. No eres bueno. No tienes nada bueno. Tus pensamientos son continuamente hacia el mal, dice la Biblia. Tu corazón, the heart is desperately wicked, the Bible says. You're not good. And so you've come into this place. And you've sang the songs and you pray the prayers and you've thought about this, but you know that deep inside you don't deserve anything like this. So instead of you facing your own garbage, you have been wondering, does this really matter? Why am I still so guilty? I'm still bad. And so you're here wondering. You're still searching. So you're still looking. Why does it matter, Jesus? Why? If I come every day, I come every Saturday, I pray every time, I study my lesson and it means nothing. I don't feel anything. What is this matter with this? Why? It's because you still have not taken a hold of that lawyer. And it's very important that you do, porque cuando nosotros agarramos este abogado, Jesucristo, cuando lo agarramos, cuando el Padre llama tu nombre, el Padre no te ve a ti, porque si te viera a ti, tú fueras culpable, pero el Padre ve tu abogado, Cristo Jesús, el cual también es su Hijo y también es santo, y entonces tú eres declarado inocente. But not because you show up, but because Jesus shows up. Why does Jesus matter? Because you can't show up. Why does Jesus matter? Because you are guilty. Why does Jesus matter? Because you are lost. Why does Jesus matter? Because you have no life. Why does Jesus matter? Because he's the only one that has given you a chance to be something that you will never be on your own. And that's weird. So tonight, my calling is for someone who recognizes that Jesus matters. Somebody that tonight says, you know what, Jesus, I recognize, I accept, yo acepto que tú importas, yo acepto que tú eres amor, yo acepto y te quiero como mi abogado, yo acepto que tú eres lo que yo necesito. Tonight, that is my calling, just to understand and accept Jesus Christ as someone that matters. Tonight, God has spoken to your heart tonight, and you now say, I
when the world becomes too much. Near the cross I will remain until every fear is still. At the mention of your name, we're not alone. Here within His love, Emmanuel, He is still with us. Ooh, you'll never leave us, God. You're faithful. Mercy is falling, falling. Lift up your hands, receive it now. Here in the presence of the Lord. I know your past is broken. You can move on, it's over now. Here in the presence of the He